Today we are diving into an incredibly dramatic story from ancient scripture. It's got everything: family rivalry, divine power, and a serious lesson about challenging authority. It's like a whole three-act play, packed into just a few verses. So let's get right into it. Really, the whole story hangs on this one powerful question. And it's a question that Moses' own brother and sister are about to get answered in, well, the most terrifying way you can imagine. So let's set the scene. All right, so our story kicks off with the three most important siblings in the entire nation of Israel. You've got Moses, the leader, Aaron, the high priest, and Miriam, who is a prophetess in her own right. They're all out in the desert, leading their people, but you can just feel that the tension is running pretty high.
Now, on the surface, the problem Miriam and Aaron have is with Moses' wife, who she was, where she came from. But you know how these things go. That's just the tip of the iceberg. The real issue here is way deeper, and it's all about power.
And there it is, the real heart of the issue. See, this was never really about Moses' wife. This is about his special status. Miriam and Aaron are basically saying, hey, hold on a minute, we're prophets too. What makes you so special? It's a straight-up challenge to his authority, and it just reeks of good old-fashioned sibling jealousy.
What's so fascinating is that the story pauses right here to drop this little detail about Moses. It's like a narrator's aside, telling us he was the most humble man on the face of the earth. And that one detail explains everything about what happens next. It's why he doesn't fight back or defend himself. He doesn't have to, because somebody else was listening in.
And this is where the story just completely flips on a dime. It happens with one simple, bone-chilling phrase, "And the Lord heard this." That complaint wasn't just some private family squabble. It was overheard by the highest authority there is. And the response? It is immediate.
Can you just imagine the dread that must have washed over them? There's no delay. It's at once. This is the ancient world's version of being called into the principal's office, except the principal is, the creator of the universe. The tension must have been absolutely off the charts as all three of them are summoned to that sacred tent.
This is not just a quiet word. This is a full-blown spectacle. The visible presence of God comes down in a pillar of cloud, and it stands right at the entrance of the tent. Then he calls Aaron and Miriam to step forward. Uh-oh, they are about to get a direct talking to.
So God's not just about to tell them off. He's about to give them a masterclass in the spiritual chain of command. He is going to make it crystal clear why Moses isn't just another prophet. He's in a category all by himself.
So God basically lays out the two different tiers of prophecy. Look at the difference here. For other prophets, the communication is kind of indirect. It's through visions, through symbolic dreams. But with his servant Moses, totally different story. With him, God says, I speak face to face, clearly, and not in riddles. Moses has the direct line, a kind of intimacy with God that nobody else has.
And this is the moment it all comes to a head. After laying out exactly why Moses is in a class of his own, God hits them with this absolutely devastating question. He's not just asking why they did it. He's asking how they dared to do it. Why weren't you afraid? The question just hangs there, and there's no answer. Because what good answer could there possibly be?
That question wasn't really a question. It was the end of the trial. And now the sentence is coming. God's anger has been lit, and you just know the consequences are going to be fast, they are going to be visible, and they are going to be shocking.
The divine presence just leaves. The pillar of cloud lifts up and disappears. And for a second, there's just silence. Aaron and Miriam are left standing there with the weight of God's anger just crushing the air around them. What just happened?
And then they see it. Aaron turns to his sister Miriam, and it's a horror show. Her skin is suddenly afflicted with leprosy, turning it a shocking, deathly white. The one who spoke out against God's chosen has been marked. Publicly, terribly.
And just like that, everything changes. All that pride, all that arrogance from just a few moments ago, it's gone, completely vanished. In its place is pure terror and desperate begging. The challengers have become beggars.
I mean, just look at this reversal from Aaron. He turns to the very brother whose authority he just tried to undermine and calls him my Lord. He begs Moses, not God, to step in for them, admitting that what they did was a foolish sin. He gets it now. He finally understands Moses' position.
So what does Moses do? Remember what the text told us? This is the most humble man on earth. He doesn't gloat. He doesn't say, I told you so. No, his immediate gut reaction is to cry out to God for the very sister who just tore him down. It's just pure compassion.
Now, God hears Moses' prayer, but it's not an instant fix. A price still has to be paid. Miriam has to go through a period of public shame and purification. So first, she's confined outside the camp. For 7 days, she has to stay there in disgrace. But after that, there is a path back. She can be brought back into the community.
And this last detail is so important. It shows you the ripple effects of this whole thing. The journey of the entire nation is put on hold. Everybody waits for a full 7 days until Miriam serves her time and is restored. It just goes to show how the actions of one person really did impact everybody.
So this ancient story leaves us wrestling with a really modern question, right? It's a timeless lesson about leadership, about humility, and about that razor-thin line between holding power accountable and arrogantly trying to tear it down for your own sake. It forces us to ask ourselves, in our own lives, when we challenge authority, where do we draw that line?